Welcome back to In the Kitchen with Grace, guys. Today we are doing all of the Thanksgiving recipes. Yummy, yummy. Today we are doing a really easy appetizer, and it is packed with flavor. It's orange cranberry pecan cheese ball or spread. You could do it either way. You could put it into a ball, or you can put it into a little serving dish, and it goes great with crackers and breads like crostini. We love doing cheese balls at our family get-togethers, and we kind of rotate who makes them. This time it's my turn, and I'm excited for this one because it's got all the fall flavors. It's also a great way to use up any of those fall flavors you have left from all your other fall recipes. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, if you're joining in, you really might want to take a break. Make sure your cream cheese has come to room temperature almost. You want it nice and soft so that it's workable. And I'm going to use 2 boxes of cream cheese. 2 8-ounce boxes. Get on in there. It's a nice, good sized bowl. If you are new, welcome. Normally I do all sorts of easy recipes your family will love, including those picky eaters. As a busy mama, guys, I'm all about easy breakfast, lunch, and dinners. Trying to fit that healthy stuff in when we can. Personally, I love to bake, though. It's my favorite, so desserts is my thing. Been cooking a long time. And I love sharing my recipes with y'all because I feel like it makes your meal planning life a lot easier. Plus, it's fun to learn how to cook and make new things. Expand your palate a little bit. Boy, this wrapper's winning. I've got all our recipes going today. We are doing ricotta herb dinner rolls. Got that dough rising. Got the turkey going in the oven. If you need to learn how to make a turkey, roast a turkey, guys, pack it with flavor and that perfect crispy skin. I've got that recipe video for you too. This really made my hands kind of messy, so I'm going to go rinse my hands off really quick and throw this away. Okay, we're going to set the bowl aside. I'm going to grab my cranberries. And you want about, half a cup or so. And a half a cup of chopped pecans. You can use candied pecans if you've got those. I'm gonna just kind of chop these up a little bit more. You know, I could have put this in the food processor. I'm elbows deep in the cooking today and totally forgot about the food processor. This isn't hard to do, though. Anybody can do this. Speaking of appetizers and side dishes, guys, I will link to those playlists above for you because I've got all sorts of easy holiday dishes for you that you can either make at home or make to take to your family gathering for Thanksgiving and Christmas or Easter. Some of Thanksgiving dishes, guys, I have an amazing praline sweet potato casserole. Traditional green bean casserole. What else did we do last year? I'm trying to think. Okay. I think that's chopped up. Well, give it a little chop in here. A little more. The idea is we're going to put some into the cheese ball, and then we're going to actually roll the cheese ball into the rest. So that's on the outside. Got a jalapeno popper cheese ball if you got spicy lovers in your family. That one's pretty delicious. We went and visited family down south for Thanksgiving. Was that last year or the year before? They'd never had pickle wrap rolls before. We were like, what? Because that's like a staple up here in the Midwest at family holiday get-togethers. All right, let's get back to our cheese ball. I am going to grab just a pinch of cinnamon. A pinch. And we are going to grab about 2 teaspoons of sugar. I'm going to grab our orange. Actually, let me use the plate that I've already got going. The fewer dirty dishes, the better, right? When you're making the whole Thanksgiving meal. Okay, I'm going to get some zest off this orange, guys, because this adds a ton of flavor to your cheese ball. What holiday sides are you making this year to take along? Ooh, pumpkin pie, guys. If you're into making homemade pumpkin pie, it is so easy, and I've got a great recipe for it for you. Show you how to make a delicious pumpkin pie. Your family will think you bought it from a bakery. But what are you guys gonna make? What are you making to take along? We're doing the turkey. We're doing garlicky mashed potatoes, stuffing, the ricotta herb dinner rolls, and the cheese ball. Other people are doing dessert. I got away from desserts this year, which is kind of funny because I think I'm the best baker in the family. But you gotta let other people take turns, right? We got all this yummy zest. I'm gonna pull it off of the grater here. Let's put that right on in to our bowl. And let's bring the bowl back. If you have fresh oranges, guys, use the fresh orange juice from them. If you only have jugged orange juice in the fridge, it's okay to use that. We want about 1/4 cup of fresh orange juice. This depends how juicy your oranges are. I'm using a strainer. I don't think mine even has seeds in it, but sometimes the oranges do. So use a strainer. Nobody wants an orange seed in their cheese ball. Okay. If you feel like you need to add a little bit more, you can. But again, we're aiming for about 1/4 cup there. I'm going to go get my hand mixer. Feel free to stop it and scrape the sides and scrape your beaters. You really want to get that orange zest and orange juice all into your cream cheese. After we've got this mixed in, then we're going to add in some of the cranberries and the pecans. Maybe your spoon will fit in there. You want to get all the cream cheese off of your beaters. Maybe if you just have a cracker nearby, you can just use a cracker and have a little snack. Okay. I like using the hand mixer for cream cheese dips because it makes the cream cheese even smoother. Is that a word? Smoothier? Okay. Let's grab half. I'm going to kind of mix on my plate here the cranberries and the pecans together. I'm going to grab about half. And we're going to mix those in nicely. All right, we are going to set the bowl aside. We are going to get out some of our saran wrap. And then you're going to take your cheese mixture and put it in the middle of your saran wrap. Get it all off the sides. Get that added to your cheese ball. And what we're going to do is we're going to shape this into our ball, put it in the fridge for a couple of hours. Really 1 to 2 will do if you are in a time crunch. And then when we're ready to go serve it, we're going to take off the saran wrap, roll it around the rest of our cranberries and pecans so it's got that layer on the outside. And as you kind of bring the corners together, it kind of shapes it already. Then you can kind of just mold it however you want. Speaking of Thanksgiving cheese balls, by the way, if you have candy corn and stick pretzels, or the little regular small mini pretzels, you can make a Cheeseball turkey. Actually, maybe I'll look and see if I've got those. I know we have candy corn. I'm sure we've got some pretzels. That's a great fun idea to make a little turkey out of your Cheeseball. Oh wait, we're gonna set this into the fridge for a good hour or two. Then we'll bring it out and we'll roll it around and put it on the serving dish, and it'll be ready to go for a tasty appetizer. Finish up our Cheeseball here, and I've gotten an actual dish that I'm going to serve the Cheeseball on. And so we're going to take this saran wrap off of our Cheeseball. And you can do this two ways, honestly. You can, what I'm going to do to help keep it from sticking to your fingers, you can take the whole Cheeseball and roll it on your remaining cranberry and pecan pieces, or you can take them and kind of press and sprinkle them onto your Cheeseball like so. You want to make sure you get onto the sides. And I'm actually going to go ahead and turn mine into a turkey. That idea just sounds fun and cute. I used to do that before the kids were littler. You don't want it to be super cramped because you want people to be able to get their crackers on in there. But then what you can do is you can kind of carefully hold on to the top, peel off your saran wrap, and then set her on down to your plate. Pretzels. Doesn't take too many. And I'm gonna get a piece of candy corn, maybe two. And I'm gonna get one of these. I'm gonna kind of go along the bottom so you can't really see it. You can kind of hide where you took a little cream cheese out of. And then you can place your turkey beak onto your Cheeseball, like so. Stick your little pretzel down in there. Actually, I need a longer pretzel. Okay, let's try it again. I'm gonna take it out of the back. Just kind of go like so. You might have to use your fingers and kind of, you're wanting to use the cream cheese as kind of like glue. There we go. Stick it into the one side of your Cheeseball. And then you can make a tail feather either out of your crackers or out of pretzels or candy corn. And honestly, I've done it with goldfish before too. So if you got like a lot of little kids, you can put the goldfish on the back side. So you could do pretzels as a tail. I like to use round crackers. The nice townhouse crackers I feel like work pretty well also. Let's see if we can stick these in here. Like so. Let's do 4 tail feathers. And then I'm going to turn this around for just a second. And let's get another piece of candy corn. You stick them in the front, kind of looks like little feet. So there we go. It's just a cute little turkey. All right, you guys, this is such an easy appetizer. It's orange cranberry pecan cheese ball. Your family and friends are going to love it. Thank you all so much for watching us today. Be sure to check out all of our other Thanksgiving and holiday recipes. Help you out a ton. Be sure to subscribe. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. We'll see you guys next time. Welcome back to the kitchen with Grace. Today, you all, we are making the Thanksgiving turkey. And first off, I'm just going to say this right now. Hang on to your little tag from your turkey because This has how much weight your turkey is, and you need that to know your cooking time. So as we go to start, I'm starting right off the bat, guys. We're going to go step by step through cooking your Thanksgiving turkey to perfection. We're talking the golden, perfect, crispy skin on the outside, thoroughly cooked, very tender turkey meat on the inside. And we're going to slather it with some herbs. It's going to be delicious. Okay, so I am doing this over the sink. And I have my trash can right next to me because let me tell you, when we take out the gizzards, it's gross. And we make that as quick and easy as possible. Usually my husband does that, but I'm going to do it today. Normally we smoke our turkey. The last couple of years we've smoked it. But this year we're going back to oven roasted. And honestly, I make a really doggone good one. If you want to, you can keep your little informational packet that comes in your turkey. It kind of tells you how to cook it. Some ways you can add some herbs and seasonings. Before we get started, guys, if you are wearing a ring, ladies, everybody, if you're wearing a ring, I take mine off because I don't want it to get gross. So that's just a friendly reminder. I do that when I'm doing like meatloaf and ground turkey, anything that's, your hands are really getting into the meat. All right, it's a little heavy. I have a 15-pound turkey here. Yours might be a lot bigger. That's okay. This might take 2 people. We've done turkeys before, and it literally takes us both. And I'm doing this over the sink because it's juicy. So I have thawed my 15-pound turkey for the last 2 days. I left it literally in my sink for a full day, and then I put it in the refrigerator for a day. And it is nice and thawed. But you want to open this over the sink because it's going to be juicy. And I have my big old turkey pan, my roasting pan, right close to me nearby, which we'll get to here in just a minute. A lot of times, guys, on the turkey package, there is going to be a little chart that says how much your turkey weighs, how many people will feed, how long you need to thaw it, how long you need to cook it, and so forth. But keep in mind, you need to go off of your own oven or whatever method you're using to cook it as well. Yeah, you can see all that juice. She's good and thawed, so we're going to pick this up. Really let it drain, grow. Boy, let me tell you. Guys, husbands, this is your job. This is where you come in handy. The ladies do the rest. Okay. And so we're going to open this up. So a lot of times, if you're brand new to turkey, guys, this is why I'm doing this video, because everybody starts off a beginner at some point. What they do is they tuck the legs in to the neck hole. So you need to undo that. This sounds kind of funny. We do the little turkey dance. This actually will help when you're seasoning your turkey too. And when you go to cut it, you kind of just open up the turkey legs, kind of get your turkey to relax. And then you got to kind of go in and grab the gizzards. We don't keep them. We don't cook the neck. We don't do any of that. There's some ice. Take a good look inside your turkey, okay? There's usually a secondary thing of gizzards in there. Is mine still frozen? Nope, they got it out. I only had one this time. Sometimes the turkey has a second thing of gizzards. So double check. You might want to flip your bird baby over and take a peek in the backside. Oh, see? See, there's your gizzard. That's the other gooey, gross stuff. I don't know, is it the liver or the heart? I don't know, it's gross. I'm gonna rinse that off real quick. Throw that in the trash. Yay. Okay. Now, honestly, what I like to do is I like to give, my sink is clean, by the way. I rinsed it out. I made some herb rolls, so I got a little bit of herbs hanging out in the sink. But what I like to do is give the turkey a nice little rinse. Whew, that's a little hot there. With some cool water. Give her a little rub down. And usually, like, I don't know if I've ever really had a turkey that was not fairly clean when you take it out of the bag. I feel like the producers do a pretty good job of getting that to plants, but give her a little rinse off. Okay. Then we're going to let her drain. So you got to kind of hold her upside down. Let all the juice come out. This might take a minute, depending how big your bird is. I'm going to rinse off my hands quick. we're going to grab our big old roasting pan. And I've sprayed the bottom with some cooking spray. We're going to put chicken broth in anyways. Okay, we're going to set her opening. Let me turn this around. You want the main opening, the big opening, to be right side up so you can stuff your bird, okay? We're going to take this over to the counter and get working on it. All right, so here is a few important tips. This is a good point in time to go to your oven, pull out your top rack, and make sure that you have enough space to fit your whole roasting pan with your turkey bird into the oven. Do that before your oven's on because otherwise it's going to be really hot. So I always like to give myself a full extra hour of cooking time than is required, or than like what your turkey says how long it's going to take to cook. My 15-pound turkey is going to take about 3 to 3.5 hours to cook in my oven. I like to do mine at about 350 degrees. If you stuff the stuffing inside, guys, you're going to want to drop your temperature down to 325. You might like to do things a little differently. You do it your way. This is how I have done mine, and it comes out really well every time. So, also, you're going to want a turkey bag, or an oven bag. One of these guys. Do not use your crock pot liners, okay? Get a bag that specifically says oven bag. And what we're going to do is, after we've seasoned and stuffed this, I'm going to stick her in the bag and seal the bag up, and that's what helps keep the moisture in your turkey. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, and this gets a little messy, but let me tell you, it adds so much flavor and yumminess to your turkey, and it's also what helps make the outside skin get that perfect golden brown. You know you got some skin-eating lovers in your family that really love the turkey skin. Okay, this is what makes it awesome. And what I'm going to do is make little holes in the skin. Not necessarily poking holes into the meat. I'm using a sharp knife. Be careful. And what we're going to do is we are going to stick butter on into underneath the skin. This adds a ton of flavor to the meat and to the skin. Come on, you guys. This is Thanksgiving dinner. Nobody's counting calories. Thanksgiving is the good Lord's calories. We give thanks and blessings that we get together with loved ones, family, friends, and enjoy delicious food. All right. Depending on how big your turkey is, it's going to kind of depend on how many of these holes you want to make. I like to do maybe 1 per turkey leg to 2 per turkey leg. This one's got some thicker skin. It's being a little tricky. There we go. You really just need it big enough for a finger to fit right on in, so you can poke the butter in there. So we got 1 there. I like to do 1 on each back end of the meat, a couple on top with the breasts, 1 or 2 at each leg. This guy has some pretty big wings on him, so you can add it to the wings if you want. I am not going to. And what we're going to do is take butter, and you're going to stick it in underneath the skin. Just like so. And it will melt and add all the yumminess to your turkey. So this takes just, a couple minutes or so. And it doesn't take a ton of butter to add flavor. So if you're like, oh my goodness, I know my southern viewers are like, add more. We've got some family down south, and oh boy, they're all about the butter. If you are looking for some other Thanksgiving recipe ideas, guys, I have got a bunch of easy side dishes. Traditional green bean casserole. We've got sweet potato praline casserole. Oh my gosh, that's heavenly. It is literally the best sweet potato casserole ever. All sorts of fruit salads and macaroni salads and vegetable salads. I mean, anything from healthy to unhealthy. I got all sorts of recipes for you to go check out. I will try to link to my holiday playlist and my side dish playlist. Plus pumpkin pie, you guys. Homemade pumpkin pie is super easy. I've got a great recipe video teaching you how to do just that. Did we get this guy? I don't think we got that one. Okay. So here is, oh, I missed this little guy up here too. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take some bigger chunks of butter. By the way, you do your stuffing at the last second. If you're going to stuff your bird, do it at the last minute, right before you put it in the oven. I'm kind of mushing the butter in my hand. You need room temperature butter for this because you're going to want to kind of slather your bird in the butter. And honestly, I feel like margarine, I'm using like baking butter. Margarine kind of works better. What you're doing, even if it doesn't like stick, you're still giving the skin flavor by adding the butter on. You're just kind of massaging the butter, especially the butter you put underneath the turkey skin, on into the bird. All right. I also, like halfway through cooking my turkey, I like to pull it out of the bag. This takes 2 people because the pan's heavy and it's hot. And they kind of open up the bag and then you kind of add a little bit more butter and a second layer of seasoning. Okay, we've got some butter on her. I'm gonna rinse my hands real quick. Remember guys, you're dealing with raw poultry, so make sure before you go touching any of your other stuff that you are washing your hands as many times as needed. I'm very careful about that when I'm dealing with raw meat. All right, we're gonna grab herbs. I am gonna get some rosemary, some thyme, some fresh thyme from my garden. If y'all are interested in growing and harvesting your own kitchen herbs, having a kitchen garden, I'll link to my Fields of Grace channel. So again, I do this in 2 rounds. I'm gonna take 1 round and sprinkle here. And then we'll come back halfway through and do another round of seasoning. I'm gonna grab rosemary. I've got a brand new rosemary here. Oh, maybe not. See if any will come out. A little bit. Might not be able to see it, but it is coming out. Cooking the turkey is one of those things, the more herbs you add, the better. In my opinion. And we are going to grab a little bit of oregano. I'm just going to sprinkle a little oregano. And what is the other one? Sage. If you've got some sage, add some sage. I like to add a little basil. You can add Italian seasoning. Honestly, you guys, I go all out. And it really packs punch. People love it. And I'm going to share with you another little secret. This is buttery steakhouse. And you're like, what? That goes on steak. You open it up, it smells amazing. It really has a nice buttery flavor, seasoned flavor to it, which is what you want with your turkey. So I'm going to open it up and do this over the top. And we are going to just sprinkle away. Make sure you're kind of getting down in the nooks and crannies of your turkey. Here in just a second, I'm going to grab a little bowl to put some of the seasoning in. I'm going to use a measuring cup because we're going to lift the wings and the turkey legs and get underneath there as well. We'll use Italian seasoning. And where did my thyme go? I had thyme. Where did she go? Here it is. Let's see, I'm going to add a little thyme in there. Mix this up. Okay. Pinch at a time. Open up the wings. Get the inside of the wings. Rub some on the outside. Do the same with the legs. That one's nice and seasoned, but you can rub it in. We're all about getting friendly with the bird, guys. This is what really gets the flavor into your turkey. Rub it in good. Make sure we get the back side. Okay. Also, by the way, tuck the back skin back into your turkey's rear end. Okay, because that helps keep the moisture into your turkey. Okay, I'm going to take the rest of this. We're just going to pour it on top. This gets a little tricky when you're doing it by yourself. Ooh, salt, guys. Get some sea salt on there. All right. And we are going to get a little bit of chicken broth. I am not putting the stuffing in my chicken, okay? I'm going to do the stuffing on my stovetop this time. This is the point in time, if you've got your stuffing mixture put together, stick it into your birdie, okay? We have, let's see. I'm going to grab, which one of these is open? This one here. Just a little bit of broth. I'm actually just going to use my tablespoon here and throw a couple tablespoons of chicken broth right into your turkey. Okay. We're going to add more. Actually, you know what? If you want to, guys, you can add a little drizzle to the top. Not a ton because you don't want to get your seasonings all washed off. Let's see. Let's grab our bag. We're going to pretend that we can do this on our own. Truly, if you have a second set of hands, guys, go get that second set of hands. All right, it opens up at the end. Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Take your little turkey legs. Stick them back through the neck hole. This sometimes is challenging. Sometimes your little turkey bag kit, or will have like a little, or your turkey, will have a little like plastic thing that you can tie your legs back together as well. Come on, my little turkey. There we go. It's getting in there. They're both in there. Pull them through good. Okay. And if not, you could use string to tie them together. Like if your bird is huge and there's no way the legs are going to come together, you can use some string, some twine. Just make sure that you keep an eye on it because you don't want it to burn. All right, we are going to grab the birdie. See if I can do this. It's a heavy bird. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and go. I'm still hanging on to it, guys, with my hand. All right, just like so. You want to make sure she's set nice and even on your roasting pan. There's a little stab of butter there. Make sure your bag comes forward enough to tie it. And we're going to grab, you definitely need a towel with this one. I'm going to make sure that I thoroughly rinse out all the little utensils I'm using. And wash them good with soap water. When I'm done, grab your chicken broth or vegetable broth. I'm going to do, I like to do 1/4 cup on each side. And if you go, you're cooking it and like you're an hour in, an hour and a half in, and you're like, it just seems a little dry, feel free to open the bag up, throw a little bit more broth inside of there. The bigger the bird, the more important I think that is because you cook it longer. Okay. She's ready. We are going to grab my little zippy tie. Mine came with these little guys, which I'm not, I like the actual, they're like white plastic little clips. I like those better. Now here's the thing, as your turkey is cooking, it's going to be creating heat. Your bag needs to be able to expand, okay? So it should expand. This is also why you want to make sure there's enough room in your oven, between your oven rack and the top of your oven, because you don't want the top of the bag touching the top of your oven because it will melt the bag. You'll have all sorts of fun challenges with that. I like to just kind of twist the bag at the end. I feel like that makes it easy. Again, you want to make sure your bag has room to expand. Go on in there. It's being finicky. Okay. They really did not design this one very well. It barely, like, there we go, fits in there. Pull through. All right, there we go. It'll stay sealed. She looks good. Make sure she's in the middle of the pan. And again, I'm going to roast mine at 350 degrees. Well, that's going to take a good 3 to 3.5 hours. And I'm going to come back in halfway through, probably the 2-hour mark. That's a good time to check on the moisture, to add more butter, add more seasoning if you want to. And we'll show you guys what the turkey looks like when she's all done, okay? All right, you guys, I have one more tip before you throw your bird into the oven. Add water to the bottom of your roasting pan. It depends how big your roasting pan is. I add about 3 to 4 cups of water to mine. And then about halfway through when I'm checking on the turkey itself, I usually add 1 to 2 more cups of water underneath, okay? This keeps your bottom of your pan from burning. And then if there's happens to be any holes in your bag and the turkey juices are dripping down, it also helps keep those from burning your pan too. All right, guys, if your family is the type that really likes that perfectly golden skin on your turkey, I'm going to show you another tip that you can do. Adds a lot of flavor. If you've got the little bulb, a little, I don't know, juicer bulb thing, it's got the tube and the bulb at the end that you can just kind of use to either stick juice into your turkey or to kind of squeeze and dribble it all over the top. You can use that. But what I've done is I have got olive oil, light olive oil in a little dish, and I've got my brush. And I'm going to pull the bag back, and I'm going to kind of gently brush. I don't want to brush away all the seasoning. But you kind of want to get all of the little nooks and crannies. You can do this before you put the bag on. I was looking for my little bulb thingy because I usually do it right before I close and seal up the bag, and I couldn't find the bulb, so I don't know where it went. Baster, there we go. That's the word I was looking for. Where my baster went. My daughter loves to cook and bake things, and she will randomly use items in the kitchen and not put them back. Or she goes and she uses them for her crafts and slime and, you know, who knows where they end up, right? Any of your kids do that in your family? Okay. Get the outside of them wings. Okay, you gotta have, there's always gotta be someone that really likes the wings of the turkey. So add that flavor. Okay. She's got some good oil. This really makes the crust, or the skin, that nice golden brown. Let's seal her back up. We're gonna put her back in the oven. I feel like there's still a lot of amount of herbs on my bird, so we're gonna go finish the cooking. All right, you guys, the turkey is about halfway done. It's been in there for maybe 2 hours or so. It's got another hour and a half maybe, and I have taken it out. I have put more water in the bottom of my roasting pan. I've opened up the end of the bag. Please be very, very careful. The bag's hot, the turkey's hot, the steam is hot. Do not just like put your face down in there when you're opening it. And I've kind of let it air out just a little bit so that I can get back into my turkey. Again, we're being very, very careful. And you want to kind of check in your turkey and see if it needs more liquid, if you've got stuffing in there, if it's looking dry. You might want to add a little bit more if you've got that baster where you can squeeze, stick it in and squeeze some more chicken broth in there. You may want to go ahead and do that. I am going to take a little bit more of my oil, my olive oil, and I'm going to very carefully here get in and kind of rebaste my turkey. Oh my goodness, it smells so, so good. Okay, and then I'm going to grab a little bit more of my seasoning. I put it in a bowl so I can kind of sprinkle it in. All right, I'm going to get a little bit more chicken broth. See if I can kind of get it on in there without making too big of a mess. I wish I could figure out where the heck my baster had gone. kind of splash it around on in there. Especially try to get towards the back of your turkey because any moisture that you had in there is gonna kind of seep down underneath your turkey. So it's important to make sure that the whole top stays nice and moisturized. All right, that's looking pretty good there. And the next thing I'm gonna do is grab some lemon. I've got 2 lemons that I've sliced up. Let me tell you, this is amazing. It also adds some moisture in there. I'm just kind of sticking the slices towards the top, down on the side between the wings, and then I'm going to take some of the ends and kind of squeeze a little lemon juice in there. See if we can get towards the back. Oh yeah. All right. That is good. We're going to seal the bag back up and I'm going to stick her back in the oven. And then we'll show you what it looks like when she is all done and ready for our Thanksgiving feast. Welcome back, you guys. We are going to check this turkey. I am 99.9% positive she is fully cooked. We are going to very carefully cut away the plastic bag. When you're taking your turkey out, again, please be very careful. It's hot. The steam is hot. Oh yeah, look at the lemon slices. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to take my thermometer and I'm going to find a really thick part of meat. Stick my thermometer on in there. Your turkey's done when it's reached 165 degrees in the thickest part of the meat on the bird. And yeah, mine's gone all the way past the 170. Gone all the way past 170 there. So it's totally done. I am going to take it out of the pan and I'm going to put it on a serving tray. Actually, I'm probably going to put it on another baking dish. One that can definitely hold the weight of the turkey. And I'm going to wrap it with tin foil. And that will keep it nice and warm and moist until we are ready to carve it. You need to let it cool down a little bit. And when you keep it covered, it retains the moisture in the turkey. Doesn't she look beautiful? Oh my goodness. Taking it off of your pan, guys, usually is like a 2-person job. Please be careful. Be prepared. Thank you all so much for watching this recipe. I hope my tips help you cook, roast the best turkey that you've done yet. Again, if you haven't subscribed, be sure to do so. I have all sorts of normal weekday recipes along with all of our easy and delicious holiday recipes. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and on Pinterest. Don't forget, you can save and pin all of our recipes on Pinterest. In the Kitchen with Grace. I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays. And we'll see you guys next time. This looks and smells amazing. Cannot wait. Welcome back to In the Kitchen with Grace. Today we are making a Thanksgiving pumpkin pie. I'm super excited. It's one of my favorite pies and I feel like it's one that anybody can make successfully. I'm going to leave all of the ingredients in the description below. And I am actually going to use a store-bought pie crust today. I'm only using one of the 2 pie crusts that come in the box. And like with any kind of store-bought pie crust, you want to kind of let it come to room temperature before you unroll it and let it kind of settle into your pie tin. I do have a homemade pie crust recipe. I will link to it. It's a pretty rock solid one. I just happen to be in a bit of a hurry today, so I'm just using my store-bought pie crust. All right, we are going to start with dry ingredients first, and I am going to start with a cup of brown sugar. And I do not pack my brown sugar down. I'm going to keep it light. And we're going to do 1 tablespoon of flour. We're going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We're going to do a half a teaspoon of nutmeg. We are going to do 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And if you don't have all of these separate spices, that's okay. You could also use just a general pumpkin spice blend. Going to do 1 teaspoon of ginger. I actually have a new ginger. I have been busy baking and I had to get a new ginger. All right, 1 teaspoon of ginger going in. And then we're gonna do a pinch of ground cloves. Technically, it's like 1/8 of a teaspoon, but it's literally a pinch, a sprinkle. Okay, and then we are going to stir this together. Kind of get those seasonings, the spices all blended in. And it's okay if you have some brown sugar clumps, they will melt once they are warm in the oven. I hope you all have a fabulous holiday, Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving, whatever you have going on. I just pray and hope it's a blessed one. If you're looking for some more dishes, alternative dishes you could take along to your Thanksgiving, I have green bean casserole, praline sweet potato casserole, a blue cheese walnut pull-apart bread that is amazing. We've got pumpkin bars. What else have I been up to? We've got pasta salads, fruit salads. Go check out all of my potluck holiday playlists because I've got all sorts of ideas of things that you could take along to your holiday Thanksgiving get-together. So this dry ingredients is blended nicely. And I'm going to actually crack my eggs now. I'm going to use 3 eggs. Ran out of my farm fresh eggs, so I had to go get some more. This is the last of my baking for our holiday get-together. Ooh, speaking of ideas and alternatives, if you're not into turkey, or maybe you're just doing a Friendsgiving, or you want something amazing for Christmas, I have 3 amazing ham pork glaze recipes coming up. It is so amazing. We did it on pork chops this weekend. We had some big, thick cut pork chops, smoked them in the smoker with the glaze, and my husband thought he was in heaven. I have got my oven preheating to 375 degrees. And once I put this pie in the oven, it's going to be baking for about 45 to 50 minutes. Again, everybody's oven varies, so that just gives you maybe a starting point to kind of go off of. We are going to mix all of the liquid ingredients together now. And my pumpkin pie recipe calls for 1 15-ounce can of pumpkin pie filling. So we're going to put that in the bowl. And then we need 1 1/4 cups of evaporated milk, which I think is of just about the whole can. Just about, not quite. I think there's about 1 1/2 cups of evaporated milk in that size can. So I only need 1 1/4 cups of the evaporated milk, and then we need the eggs. So I'm going to put my 3 eggs in, and that is it for the liquid ingredients. And I'm going to grab my whisk and just set the spoon in here. I'm going to very gently kind of mix this together. Make sure the eggs get mixed in. If you want to, you can pre-whisk your eggs. This will take me probably about 2 minutes maybe of gentle whisking. I don't like to use my mixer in this because I feel like it almost mixes it too fast, even on the low setting. I feel like this is a hand whisk recipe. It's coming together really nicely. All right, now we are going to pour it into our brown sugar spice mixture. Gonna mix that together really well. And again, I am using my whisk to really incorporate it together to get that brown sugar and spices blended really well. You'll know when it's mixed well because you won't feel any of the brown sugar on the bottom of your bowl. That's pretty good. So it's about a minute of mixing the wet ingredients and then a minute of blending the wet and dry ingredients together. Grab my pie crust. And we're going to gently pour it in. Perfect. And now we're going to go bake it. So my pumpkin pie was in the oven for right about 50 minutes at the 375 degrees. It is done. You can tell when your pumpkin pie is done because if you give it a little jiggle, if you wiggle the pan just a little bit, if the middle does not jiggle, it is done. You could also do a toothpick, stick a toothpick in there. And when you pull it out, if there is pie filling on the toothpick, it's not quite done yet. Your toothpick should come out clean. So now I'm just waiting for this to cool, and then we are going to slice it up and enjoy. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Welcome back to In the Kitchen with Grace. Today, I am doing what I call the beginner's college students guide to making a very easy side dish for any family holiday get-together. We're doing green bean casserole. It only requires a few ingredients. It's also a really cheap side dish to make. We are doing an early Thanksgiving dinner, so I have a whole bunch of stuff going on in my oven. We have blue cheese, walnut, honey, thyme bread. We have a praline sweet potato casserole. We have a green bean casserole going on, and I'm actually going to do a brown sugar honey ham. So it is 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup, 2 cans of green beans. I personally like to use the French style instead of the regular cut green beans. You're going to want a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. You're going to need some milk. You're going to need some black pepper. And I call these dirty onions. Not sure where you're from. We're from the Midwest. We call them dirty onions. But it is your golden crispy onions. They're kind of look like they've been fried like that. You're going to want those. And yeah, let's just jump in. So I am going to do the liquid ingredients in one bowl first. We're going to start with the cream of mushroom soup. This is one of those recipes that is really hard to mess up. Basically, you just have to get the texture, the creaminess just right, and make sure you don't burn the topping. And that's all there is to it. I'm actually going to start with 1.5 cans of the cream of mushroom soup, and we are going to do half a cup of milk. You can always add more liquid ingredients, so always start out just a little bit less or not quite all of it to begin with. mix this together. I'm actually going to grab my whisk. Grabbed my black pepper while I was at it. We're just going to gently mix this together. I'm going to go ahead and add in a splash of Worcestershire sauce. So this gives it just a little hint. It makes you go, I wonder what that flavor is. It's Worcestershire. It's probably about a full teaspoon. Okay, it's mixed together really well. I'm going to grab a bigger bowl here. Put our green beans in. Okay, and then we're going to pour our wet ingredients into the green beans. You're saving those jerky onions for the top, for a nice crunchy top. Gently mix this all together. I like to fold it, makes it a little bit easier. Add in our pepper. Pepper goes really well with green beans, so do a little extra. And I start with like a handful of the jerky onions. Sprinkle them around top. And just a little bit more there. And then I use my spoon and I actually kind of press them in. And then you're gonna bake this for about 10 minutes. And when these jerky onions start to crunch up and get golden brown, then you add the rest on top for the perfect crunchy top. So for Friendsgiving, we are doing a ham, we are doing praline sweet potato casserole, and I always like to do something homemade and then something sort of store-bought and super simple to add with it. And so if you're having turkey, I found a lemon thyme stuffing mix at Aldi's. Talk about an Aldi find. Lemon and thyme goes so good with turkey. And when I actually make my turkey, I like to sprinkle the thyme on top. And I also like to add lemon slices inside your turkey. It just gives it an amazing flavor. And so I am just going to go ahead and make this stuffing mix. If you are new to making stuffing, this is like the easiest thing in the world. Sounds really silly, but I'm throwing all these side dish options in here to help give you some ideas of things that are quick and easy for you to take to your family get together. So I have 1.5 cups of water here in my pot. I need half a stick of butter, just like that. We're gonna let this melt and boil, and then I'm gonna add in the breading mix, and then we let that fluff for a few minutes. All right, so she is boiling up nicely, so I'm gonna add my stuffing mix in. You wanna mix it together thoroughly. You want all of the breading to get wet. I'm gonna turn the stove off. And then I'm gonna remove it from the hot burner and let it sit here for about 5 minutes, and then we'll fluff it up and it'll be ready to serve. Welcome to In the Kitchen with Grace. Today we are making a praline sweet potato casserole. This goes great, honestly, as a side dish with just about any meal, traditional weeknight dinner. But I am making it for Thanksgiving. We like to make it with Easter. And then I just kind of toss it in here and there as well over the course of the year. It is sweet. It is delicious. I love pecans. And so this is just one of my favorite recipes. I have cooked 3 sweet potatoes. 2 were medium sized. 1 was a little bit larger. And they are mostly peeled. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of mash them up. They are fully cooked, so they are soft. I'm using a potato masher. You could use a fork if you really wanted to. You could get your hand mixer out, but I'm not going to go that route. For this recipe, you are going to need, if you don't want to use fresh sweet potatoes, you can use 2 cans of sweet potatoes. I just prefer to use fresh. You're going to need a stick and a half of butter, half a cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of milk, 2 eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla. Going to need the chopped pecans and brown sugar and a little bit of flour. The recipe will be listed below. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe and stick around. Y'all follow me on Pinterest, In the Kitchen with Grace 1 on Pinterest. There is a link up here on my channel as well. You can get all of my recipes and pin them. Have all sorts of good old-fashioned country home cooking recipes. All right, this is nice and soft. I think we're mashed pretty well. Okay, right into my sweet potato mixture. I'm going to do a stick of melted butter. My butter is been sitting out, so it's room temperature, and I want to go ahead and put it in the microwave just for maybe like 20 seconds. You don't have to have it melted all the way, just enough though so that it kind of just mixes in just right. So I'm going to put that stick of butter right in. And then I'm going to go ahead and crack my eggs. I have a little dish here. I'm using farm fresh eggs. So whenever you're using farm fresh eggs, always crack them into a separate little bowl, never straight into whatever you are making, because you never know with a farm fresh egg. We're going to go ahead and pour those in. I need a 1/4 cup of milk and a 1/2 cup of sugar. Let's do the sugar first. And it doesn't have to be precise. It's just about a 1/2 cup there. Do a 1/4 cup of milk. I'm going to use my 1/2 cupper here. Fill that halfway. Perfect. All right. And you need a teaspoon of vanilla. If you've been sticking around a while, you know I like my vanilla. Whenever it calls for a teaspoon, I almost always add a tablespoon, so. Okay, we're gonna mix this nicely. Butter, the sugar, the eggs, and the vanilla all mixed in. Okay, I'm gonna go grab my baking dish. And we're gonna spray it. I'm gonna bake this in the oven at like 350 degrees so you can get your oven warming up. Just gonna pour this in. So again, this was 2 medium and 1 large sized sweet potato. And it definitely makes quite a bit, plenty enough for your crowd, for your guests. This is going to be for Thanksgiving, one of our side dishes along with green bean casserole. We also are doing blue cheese, walnut, honey bread. Oh my gosh, that recipe is so good. So if you're looking for some side dishes to take to your get together, you gotta check out what we have. Okay, and I'm actually going to just use the same bowl that I was using to make the first part of our sweet potato casserole. And I need half a stick of melted butter. It's gonna go for the topping. All right, we are ready to put together the topping for this praline sweet potato casserole. I am just gonna go ahead and use the same bowl I was mixing the first part in. I have 5 tablespoons of butter melted, and we also need 3/4 cup of chopped pecans, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, and half a cup of flour. Okay, we're gonna pour that in. And then we need half a cup of flour. And then our pecans. We're putting the dry ingredients together first. I'm gonna kind of mix this together. This is basically like candying your pecans here. Okay, and then we're gonna add our butter. Almost looks like we're making cookie dough. Okay, we're gonna grab our baking dish with the potatoes in it, and then you're gonna just go ahead and gently pour your topping onto your potatoes. And then I use a finger and my spoon here and kind of spread it around. And this will continue to melt because it's brown sugar and butter in there. And this will make a really nice, sweet, but crunchy caramelized top to your sweet potato casserole. There we go. We are going to go put that in the oven